Would you run for president? I mean, it didn't go that great last time.
You know, America is a great place for second chances.
Yeah, okay.
Let's just leave it at that.
All right, and of course, is Rick Perry. So what's up with American politics? Some say it's beginning to look a lot like 2008 and 2012. Is 2016 going to be the year of the zombie candidates, those who come back from the dead? We're hearing Rick Perry, Hillary Clinton, maybe even another Bush. Joining me at this time is longtime White House reporter Keith Koffler. Keith, welcome.
Thank you very much.
So what do you think, Keith? Despite all the talk, will it be the same old in 2016?
No. Well, in Rick Perry's case, as long as he can remember three things, he might have a chance this time around, or if he's not on the Percocet or whatever the problem was last time. But no, I really don't think so. I mean, I think on the Democratic side, yes, Hillary is more of the same. She's, sort of a fossil and been around a long time. But on the Republican side, you have all kinds of new faces. I mean, Cruz, Marco Rubio, Rand Paul, Scott. I mean, it's endless. Even Chris Christie, to some extent, is a new face. And I think it's really potentially going to be a problem for the Democrats. I mean, everybody knows Hillary, and it is really a problem for the reigning party in the presidency after two terms to repeat. I mean, very often they put up old-time candidates, for example, Gore in 2000 or McCain in 2008. They put up very familiar people who get beaten by some kind of insurgency, and I think that's what you've got with Hillary, and I think it creates a real vulnerability for the Democrats. And I think on the Republican side, you will have this energy of people looking for somebody new and with new ideas to try to correct the problems of the last, right now 5 years, right, but it'll be 8 years at that point.
Let's focus on the Democratic side for a moment. Hillary Clinton, as you mentioned, I think there's some real vulnerability here, Keith Koffler, not just because she's a same old. Look, Obamacare is a disaster, and we see Democrats running away from it. Hillary Clinton has her own demons when it comes to health care reform. She has her own problems with the Russian reset, with all that's going on right now. She has her own problems with Benghazi. Yes, maybe we can theorize that the public won't buy into Benghazi because they haven't up until now. But I got to believe that the health care history that she has can be a real albatross around her neck come 2016. What are your thoughts on that?
I completely agree. I think that, she's being touted as this great candidate. I think she is a deeply flawed candidate for all the reasons you mentioned. And you've just been talking about Ukraine. I mean, this is, she was the author of the Russian reset policy, which went nowhere. I mean, a couple of things. First of all, what does she actually represent? Does she... Where's the new policies for her? She represents a continuation of the Obama years. Well, the Obama years have been unpopular. His policies are unpopular. What is the new thing that Hillary is going to get us? And furthermore, there are these issues of her term in office. What did she do exactly as Secretary of State that was positive? What did she do? She's a U.S. Senator for 8 years, Secretary of State for 4 years. Name it. What are her accomplishments? What is the one thing that she did? Right. So, she not only has she been around, but there's not a lot to say for it in the end about anything that she's done.
In the past, when I've looked at the Republican Party, it felt like a my turn party. If you've waited out your time long enough, you've paid your dues, it's your turn to be handed the mantle and run for the presidency. It feels that way now with the Democrats on Hillary. You don't see, do you, a serious challenge from within the party to Hillary in the Democratic primary?
No, I don't. I think there will be one. The people always seem inevitable, and then something pops up. It seems like it'll be very hard to beat her. There's just so much money and so much organization organization within her candidacy that's already being put in place. But she really is kind of a Potemkin candidate. I mean, when you look beneath it, it's not clear what's there. And you're exactly right. what you see among the Republicans is for the first time really in a while among Republicans, it's not the next person. It's not going to be Santorum, and there are going to be all these fresh faces. That has been a Democratic strength. If you look, when they've won with Obama or Clinton in '92, their strength has been new people. And I think that, in 2016, it's going to be the Republicans for the first time that really have that. And so that's why I think she's just really overrated as a candidate.
Yeah, that's it's my belief that you're hitting the nail on the head here with Hillary Clinton. You mentioned new faces in the Republican Party: Ted Cruz, Rand Paul, Scott Walker. Of course, there's a lot of excitement among those names, particularly with Ted Cruz and Rand Paul at that Tea Party grassroots level. The base of the right side of the party. How realistic do you believe it is that either Cruz or Paul or Walker will truly be candidates?
I thought that, when I saw Barack Obama, I thought, well, there's no way this guy's going to be a candidate. I mean, he's done nothing in his entire career that is of any note, and yet he became the president. So I never thought that was possible. So I think that, people can come out, even though they don't have a long-term presence on the national stage like Cruz or Paul. Rubio has more experience. I mean, he had a lot of experience in Florida, in the legislature there, and actually did some substantive things. But, I think that, yes, there's a possibility of this.
Keith, in a remaining, all right, so you see some new faces being legitimate candidates. In a remaining moment, is it just me, or does it appear as if Rick Perry's had some sort of makeover? We're seeing a sleeker, hipper Rick Perry all of a sudden.
I think that I understand what you say, but this ends up being like a little bit like Grandpa listening to new wave music or something. It might not really come over. I don't know if you can really make somebody over, or if that's necessarily a good thing. Look, Reagan never pretended to be young, right? I mean, he pretended to be a mature sort of statesman. He didn't have any makeover. He was just Ronald Reagan in '76 and 1980. It worked for him. I don't know if a makeover is going to ring true for people.
Well, I just wanted to get your opinion. I thought, am I losing my mind here? Am I seeing something different? No one's talking about it? All right. Thank you for joining us, Keith Koffler.
My pleasure.
All right. Is Eric Holder's Department of Justice putting the rights of criminals over the political freedoms of its opponents? The debate on a flip side with our grassroots citizen panel. Don't go anywhere.